This is an addendum to my last video called Chasing Tomorrow's Happiness, where I was trying to get the point across that if your mind is always chasing tomorrow, then you're not really here today. My point was to seize today, because today's the only real one you can act upon. Not to be nihilistic about tomorrow, or not to have zero drive or inspiration or aspiration, not to be lazy, but quite the opposite. To just think of today, to give it some respect. That is, the time is always now. I'd like to think that my videos offer thoughts on how you might change your thinking or perceptions rather than be a surefire, prescriptive guide to anything. It's about finding your way while listening to another man who's found and is continually finding clarity in his own way. Having said that, I've had this notion for a long time that there are a lot of people out there and here that point out the things that are wrong with the world and life. They're ostensibly truths, but this information on its own can be confusing and frustrating to someone who's just woken up, sees the truth of what we're all saying, though has no idea about how to have the clarity of mind of the people imparting this wisdom. That is, most people who are freshly unplugged to reality now are frustrated and say, "Yeah, human, easy for you to say. I've just started to take in all this stuff. Not everyone is like you. I have no idea what to do next. I'm unmotivated about what to do next." And what I aim for mostly in my videos, perhaps, is to get people's epistemology of red pill concepts as calm reflexes inside of them, rather than fist-pumping external motivations like a lot of people might do, that disappear as soon as you're confronted with the real world again, and you simply revert to old patterns and you feel bad about yourself again. It's a masochistic cycle, one that I never really liked in my earlier days. Which brings me to motivation. I've always had a problem with how the word motivation is sold to the vulnerable out there. I think it often makes people with no direction of what to do next feel a little embarrassed because they can't find their motivation, and apparently the people fist-pumping them to just do it seem to have a happy motivational drug inside them that they don't. It's crippling for many people when they see the contrast between themselves and the seemingly motivated. It's like the millionaire telling the homeless man, "You can have this too." Motivation is well-intentioned, I'm sure, but the adrenalized Tony Robbins style of fist-pumping motivation comes, I think, after you've found the thing to finally be inspired towards. When you have your own little light bulb about what matters only to you, when you find your purpose in it, that's when you can start to get motivated. And don't get me wrong, I respect where Tony Robbins is coming from because the man obviously believes in what he believes in. You can see it, and he's trying to get that to rub off on others. But to the uninspired person freshly coming to a Tony Robbins, to that dispassionate person, they feel embarrassed in relation to Tony's energy. You see, the truth is you can't be given motivation. Motivation is the momentum that carries you after you've found the thing that speaks to you. A calling, if you will, to fall in love with, to grab hold of. I never looked to motivation to get me out of my funks. Stopping procrastination by waiting for the unicorn of motivation will have you waiting a long time, gentlemen. Often it never comes, not really. I look at just doing, even a small thing that I know I love doing or is pointing in the right direction. It's crazy, right? I love writing, for instance, and sometimes I feel uninspired to get to that page to write. But sometimes I just give myself permission to do 5 minutes, sit down with a pen and paper, and then if I'm still not feeling it after 5 minutes, I can then give myself permission to walk away because at least I sat down for 5 minutes. But the funny thing is 99% of the time, what usually happens is that I stay there longer than 5 minutes and I write a fair bit, if not the entire script for my next video. There is no motivation, gentlemen. There is only doing the work that you love doing. Even if you can't be fucked doing it, do something. For instance, when writing for one of these videos isn't flowing for me and my brain is foggy, usually after a long day, then at least I know I can do something where I don't have to think as much. I can perhaps create music for one of my video intros. I can organize the visuals, illustrate the titles, bullet point some ideas about the script, even if it's not immersive writing. Or if nothing's working at all, I can just go for a jog to freshen myself up, wash the dishes, grab my sketchbook and just doodle. But don't binge watch another mindless series on Netflix and then feel guilty about not doing anything. If you can't get going on your passion, do something, anything that's constructive, instead of just consuming other people's creativity like music, movies or art, because it only serves to make you feel a little worse about yourself that you're not making your own art. I know that's how I feel. This procrastination, this never getting started, often we give ourselves excuses. Not having enough or needing more before you take that next step. People who won't get healthy until New Year's. I mean, logically, why don't you just get healthy now? Not writing that book that you want to write because you've got an old computer and you think you'll write a lot better when you get the new computer. So you keep researching and spending all your time piecing together the right computer that takes you 3 years to actually put together. For instance, I'm really into cameras. I know with myself, I sometimes stall getting out there and taking photos because I'm wanting a better lens or a better, more expensive camera. And what I have in my hand is a little uninspiring to me. But just like when you pick up a pencil and paper, the most basic tools to do anything, you realize it's not technology that satisfies. It's the simple act of doing the thing. The tool means so little compared to the creator who's creating the thing. I mean, Steven Soderbergh just filmed Unsane, the movie, on an iPhone, showing us all that it's about creating things with what you have and not pausing your creative expression until a green light gives you permission tomorrow. That is what I was talking about in my previous video, Pursuing Tomorrow's Happiness. Why don't we write our own essays instead of reading 80 million blogs or watching endless videos of people saying the things we want to say and that resonate with us? Why don't we create it for ourselves, as I do in my videos here? These are primarily for me. And look, maybe they'll be appreciated by other people out there like you who have a similar perspective, I don't know. But consuming another movie or podcast or creative, expressive thing by somebody that another person has done is perhaps calling you to express yourself to write something, to film something, to create something of your own. Not tomorrow, but the doing it is calling you. Even if you haven't got that guitar that's perfect for you today, play the one that you have. Even if I don't have the camera or lens I covet, I personally remind myself to just make stuff with what I have now and not hit pause on my life. That's the thing to remember. Stop hitting pause on your life, gentlemen. And when I tell you this, I'm speaking to myself, so really don't think I'm on some sort of pedestal. Your salvation is not in consuming another work of art, but creating your own. Real fulfillment comes with engaging with your stuff. People take small steps like commenting comment sections under videos. That's a little nibble. But how about creating your own video or your own blog or your own music? Now that is addictive. That's purpose and fulfillment, not throwaway consumption that's literally gone the moment you consume it. No, when you create something, there's a legacy that stays with you. You've made it. You've made something. And that means a lot. Possessing a copy of someone's originality, I see it as a creative tease. You're torturing yourself because it's something you need to do yourself, I'd offer. It's like watching porn. It leaves you empty very quickly when you watch simulations of reality. And for me, even after I get the new camera I always desired, I'll probably want a new lens or another camera after that. There's always something else you want, or anything else to avoid getting started today with the camera I have in my hand. Even if I don't have that new camera in my hand, I mean, what's stopping me shooting with the camera I have? What does that say about me, really? Do I really love photography, like I say? Do I really love shooting video, like I say? Or do I just love my camera as an excuse? It's an interesting question. I guess what I'm learning is the fulfillment comes in doing what you want, not in getting it. That's the tomorrow aspect that lies to you. Doing what you want, not getting it. It's the doing. It's the going. It's the going your own way. It's the present act of doing it. You don't receive freedom up ahead. You practice it now. If you get hooked on that day up ahead, on tomorrow, then you may be unwittingly hooked on the chase, gentlemen, as many men are prone to do, especially with women. I like the way Charles Bukowski conveyed it, and I'm paraphrasing here, but that man wasn't motivated, but he loved doing what he loved doing, and he produced a hell of a lot. And in terms of creativity and writing, I remember him saying that you deserve a book like you deserve a drink, or the way you deserve to scratch your stomach when you get up in the morning. It's as simple as that. Motivation be damned. Anyway, I hope some of my thoughts today were helpful. Go your own way, gentlemen, and do your own thing. Later. Feel free to share my videos with others, link to them, and enjoy them. All my videos are free, but I really do appreciate your donations through Patreon or PayPal. It keeps me creating more videos for you. Also, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon under this video, and keep checking my channel for new stuff in case the notifications aren't working. Thanks, guys.